Hello and welcome to a new episode of Victoria 3 A to Z. Today we are back in West Africa for Futa Toro, which is definitely gonna be a very fun country. We are extremely poor, but thankfully we can conquer all of our neighbors in Mali. So let's get started with that. Oh, and we actually have two different states and a lot of iron. Okay, that's pretty nice. Now I think I'll start off by getting professional army, and our war against Karta is going pretty well. We annexed them, now we can go for Futa Jalon. Yeah, we're destroying them. I'm already gonna start diplo play against Sengo. The law also passed. Now we could get the intelligentsia in charge and maybe abolish serfdom, although I'm not sure this is gonna work. We're also getting into a bit of debt, which is terrible considering our incredibly high interest rate, but I'm sure we're gonna be fine. Now our only enemy is Massina, which is a bit stronger than us, but I think I might be able to still get them. I think we can at least hold against them. Oh yes we can. And now we're gonna do a counterattack and win the war. There we go. We have secured this entire region in only 2 years, but that was the easy part, because now we don't have any other expansion opportunities, so we have to focus on actually industrializing and building up the economy. And I think I'll do that by giving out a bunch of investment rights to everyone. My tent based construction is not gonna be enough. Okay, the law failed. We'll try again later, I guess. Well, now we got colonization, so let's immediately pass a law regarding that. Maybe you'll be able to get a coastline, although I'm not too sure. The Europeans are colonizing pretty damn fast over here. The capital is already running out of infrastructure, and it's a pretty small poor state, so maybe I should change it, especially because I won't even be able to get a coastline through here. So let's move the capital to Eastern Mali, for example. I mean, yeah, that's where everybody lives by the looks of it. Okay, finally, this law passed. Let's quickly start colonizing. We are not getting the malaria penalties over here because we have the Flube culture, which is a very strong one. It has homelands everywhere, but our growth is still limited by our small population. Let's try to abolish serfdom once again. Okay, the law fails again. It's unfortunate. So the Brits went for market unification and construction in their power block. Those are some amazing principles. I would really like to get into the British market. Even if they vassalize me, I don't really care. This is still worth it. So let's see, what treaty can we get with them? They don't really want to invest in my country anymore, but if I get a monopoly on opium, they might accept me. Okay, let's try it. And they said no. Okay, monopoly on tobacco as well, how about that? Now you're okay with this, and I think I will be able to get in. Finally, we can get into the British market. Let's switch all of our production methods. And we also got a little coastline. There we go. Amazing. Damn, and Austria just united the empire. Now they're fighting Prussia, and they're losing. Okay, the North German Federation just formed, and Austria is back to being divided. Oh, finally, we got rid of serfdom. Now we have tenant farmers. Now we can try getting some public schools. I did cancel my treaty with Britain, because I don't really want them to have monopolies over my plantations, but now I really hope they don't kick me out of the power block. I really like it over here. Oh, and the German Empire formed. Maybe we can get some relations with them. Give them some investment rights, you know? Yeah, they actually really want this. And so does Russia. And Austria, okay. Let's get everyone investing in our country. And we got our public school system, finally. Now let's switch to appointed bureaucrats. We can get the English addicted to opium. You know what, sure, yeah. There we go, another law. Now let's get the industrialist in government. Oh, and let's try to get rid of traditionalism. There will be a big war between Britain and France right here in West Africa. The British could call me in with their obligation. Let's see how this plays out. Germany sides with Britain, so I don't really think they need my help. Oh, but the US is also starting a war in West Africa against Britain. Okay, things are getting a bit more interesting. But again, the Germans side with Britain. Yeah, this is an insanely strong alliance. I don't think anybody can really stop them. Damn, the French are actually winning, because Britain is also at war with the Austrians. Man, they are at war with absolutely everybody. Our industrialization is going pretty well, mostly thanks to all this foreign investment. Okay, there we go, the economy can go even further now. Now let's get the Sunni Ulema back in government, and let's also get some healthcare, although the industrialists are not gonna be big fans of this. Now we can also get our first company, and of course I'll go for the groceries one for the extra birth rate. Another law passed. Now what about democracy? We could try to get some census suffrage, although the landowners are gonna hate it. You know, they might even revolt. Holy, yeah, the entire country might rise up. However, we might be able to pass this before that. This movement doesn't have enough activism, so we're fine. We can become a democracy. A coup, yeah, exactly what I wanted. Wait, they want to establish a presidential republic? I mean, it's not saying anything about becoming autocratic, so I'm not sure what will happen if this goes through. Anyway, back to the election. We are very democratic. However, there is only one party to vote for, and they won with 100% of the vote. Okay, that's surprising. Oh yeah, I bet now we can change a bunch of laws. Like, for example, we can get total separation of church and state. Okay, never mind, total separation failed. Okay, I guess we can go for something else, like banning slavery, for example. I think I'll also get a law commitment on that, to make sure it doesn't fail. Let's get this. We have a pretty large slave population. Yeah, and the coup will go away on its own. No more slavery. Over 500,000 people have been freed. Now let's get into the guild system and give the workers the right to associate. Hopefully this works. Now the Liberal Party is dying pretty much, and the Conservatives and Radicals are rising. Now we can only form this government without the Conservatives, which will actually be great for enacting this law. More power to the trade unions. Now let's get proportional taxation, and we can get another company. I'll go for the steel one. Proportional taxation. Now what about universal suffrage? Now we are surrounded by France and Britain, so no more colonization for us, I guess. At least everyone has the right to vote, and we're also top 10 in GDP per capita. The Prince in Parliament, okay, that's an interesting event. If we complete it, we'll probably get more legitimacy. I would actually like to get the liberals in charge for a bit, because then we might be able to destroy the influence of the church. I'm not playing around anymore, I'm doing full state atheism. Now I am focusing on building up the universities. We'll definitely need a lot more. The opium of the masses, okay, then I guess we'll just be switching to regular opium. Oh damn, and Egypt just conquered all of central Turkey. Look at this poor sick man of Europe. Okay, what just happened here? Looks like India just became independent. Well, that's terrible for the British market. Opium crisis, wait, what? Yeah, I guess that's unfortunate. Finally, the law passed, and we can move to something else, like going from mercantilism to protectionism. Oh, the Germans are now fighting the British. Their alliance has been broken. We got protectionism, now let's go from subjecthood to cultural exclusion. And we unlocked railways finally in 86. Time to fix our market access. There we have it. And let's also open the borders, since we did run out of peasants. Maybe we can get some migrants. Now we did unlock socialism, and I would really like to go communist at some point, but I guess we'll have to wait for that. Okay, oppressor and oppressed. The world will be free one day. Yeah, I think we're fine, we can probably complete this entry. We should also bolster the communist movement. Now they're all focused plotting a coup, but I don't think it will succeed. And we got the event, a war to win. Let's go for wage subsidies, and the trade unions will be more likely to become communist. Okay, migration controls passed. Now what can we do about Council Republic? We don't really have a lot of support for that. But if we're exiling the leader of the trade unions, who's a Republican, we'll get a social democrat who is totally on board with becoming a Council Republic. Let's do this. Also, we got steel frame buildings. Let's go for that. And we completed the Prince in Parliament entry, so more legitimacy. We might actually be getting a revolt over going communist. You know what, sure, let's see it. There we go, the supporters of the king have gathered in Guinea, and it's time to teach them a lesson. And for some reason the trade unions just lost all of their clout. At least the civil war is over. Damn, the US is trying to transfer British Senegal and Sierra Leone. If they succeed, it would be very interesting for us. Well, more importantly, we became communist. Oh yeah, and the flag changed as well. That's a very cool one, not gonna lie to you. And we also have human rights now, so we can do a couple more changes over here, such as getting all the kids in schools. And although we're atheists, I think we're still gonna build up this special mosque. That extra education access will come in handy. The coup fizzles out, everything is great. What other law can we go for? I guess some workers' protections. There we go. Old age pension. You know what, sure. There we go. Now I guess we could try to get a secret police. The Workers' Republic will be losing vanguardism as a potential character ideology, but the Social Democrats will become communist. You know, those guys over here, the Kabu uprising, might actually win against the Netherlands. If they do, I'm definitely coming for them. To liberate them, of course. Oh yeah, they're independent. Time for liberation. And we'll also be taking over this Futa Toro country, which also became independent at some point. Oh damn, and the British are getting invaded by Japan, of all people. Yeah, they might do some terrible things to Britain. Yeah, they liberated Canada and also Wales. We got all of Gambia, however, we are not getting the secret police. But at least the communists won the election, and we can get another company, our third one. I'll go for the paper one. Okay, now we have a pretty big war in Europe. Italy is trying to unify and they got the support of Germany and Russia. Meanwhile, France and Austria is opposing that. This will be very, very interesting. Also, we decided colonialism is bad, actually. Never mind, I don't think Italy is gonna win this. And we also got a police force. And we also got secret police finally. Now let's get some mass conscription. I see if I'm getting rid of this guy, I have a pretty good chance of getting a humanitarian leader. Okay, let's try that. Just a bit of cities coming later and there he is. Our humanitarian leader, who will help us pass multiculturalism. There we go, no more discrimination over here. Now let's also get women's suffrage. Okay, we'll get a bit more workforce. Now since we still have the humanitarian, we can also open up the borders completely. That was very fast. We're already getting Korean mass migrations. We also got our exhibition. So now we're an unrecognized major power. And we will eventually be earning recognition. Now I would actually like to go for single party state. However, no one wants that. Except for the industrialists. And yeah, I guess I could bring them in government. But I'm not too sure this is gonna pass. Now I'll have to read in this whole situation. There is no way to pass this without having a civil war. So let's cancel it. Let's get the royal folk back in government. Then we can make this communist the leader. And yeah, I guess the royal folk still hates us, but a bit less. But at least we can get another company. And I think I'll go for this oil one for the extra migration attraction. Now, the only way for us to get our communist dictatorship is to get the trade unions on board with the whole idea. And that's pretty hard. They really enjoy universal suffrage. However, we could get a vanguardist leader. He would love a single party state. However, there is only an 8% chance for us to get him. game, but nothing is impossible with enough saves coming. Now I actually have a better plan to increase my chances. We'll have to get rid of this guy, who is our executive over here in the paper company. However, the only way to do this is to disband the company, which I guess we'll have to do. Okay, but now we have a 25% chance for this guy, who is the oil company executive, and he is a vanguardist. So our chance of getting a vanguardist are actually 32%. Oh, finally, there he is, our vanguardist leader. Please lead our country. And let's also get another company, such as the motors one. Let's do it. Single party state. And yeah, we are a real country. Oh, and we got the Red Army event. Now they are also vanguardist. Those will be our last free elections, and the Communist Party will crush everyone. This will be the end of the bourgeois dictatorship. We are one united party. Now it's time to actually become communist and change our economic system from interventionism to command economy. I don't think I ever went for this. Usually I go for cooperative ownership whenever I go communist, but I guess it's time to try this out. There we have it. Next on our list is collectivizing the agriculture. Yes, I stayed on tenant farmers this entire game. Oh yeah, and now we have no private construction. But more importantly, we can nationalize foreign buildings without compensation. So right now we only own about 40% of our economy. The rest 60% is owned by foreigners. A lot of them. Cause I gave investment rights to absolutely everybody to develop my country. Well, now it's time to nationalize all those buildings. And I'll not give them any money. And I think I'll also let the British keep their buildings. I still want to keep good relations with them. But everyone else can go. Oh yeah, there we go. We went from 40% to 87% GDP ownership. Although now everyone hates us. But that's fine. I'll also be taking over the buildings of Britain, but I'll take it slow with them. Agriculture was collectivized. Now let's outlaw dissent. No one can criticize the government. I think those are all the laws I really want. So let's take a look at the rest of the world. Canada is independent and pretty strong as well. Mexico owns Alaska and the natives got Nevada. In South America, Argentina moved up north and Chile down south. Also Spain puppeted Venezuela and now they have this very cool flag. I like it cause it looks like the Romanian flag. Anyway, this is Europe. France took Navarra from Spain. The Welsh got their freedom. The Republic of San Marco is independent. Okay, that's impressive. Germany also annexed Denmark. Now they are living up here. And the Benelux is just a mess. First of all, Luxembourg is independent and they are having a civil war. In Belgium we have Flanders and Wallonia. But no, Belgium is not actually dead. They just moved up north into the Netherlands. I know, it's amazing. Also the Turks might be taking back Turkey from the Egyptians. Over in Asia, this is how things are looking like. The Dutch lost the East Indies. The British lost India. China collapsed. And Africa was mostly colonized by Britain and France. But let's go back to us, to our little communist dictatorship in Mali. We have the 8th largest economy in the world, just below Japan. Our GDP did actually go down a bit after we switched to command economy, but the SOL went up. Now we are the 3rd best country to live in. We also have over 20 million people. We got a lot of migrants from all over the place, and most of those guys are atheist, 45% of them. This is how the religious map is looking like. We are one of only 4 atheist countries in the world, I think. The other 3 are Austria, San Marco, and Japan. Anyway, those are all the laws we managed to pass. Our institutions and our companies. They didn't do very well. But that's it. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to the channel for more Victoria 3 A to Z. Thank you for watching and I'll see you in the next one.